Hey, how's it going? Um, it's me, Nerd. Uh, this is gonna be a little different than what I normally make or have made and put on this channel, but it's this is something that I kind of have to make just for myself, really. Um, I don't think most people who would ever watch anything I make or know who I am know that I play other games other than Minecraft or something like that. But I for a long time I have played this game that you're watching on screen called Destiny 2. Um, it's a live service MMO RPG, first person shooter sort of thing. You'll get a sense of what it is when you watch this video here. I'm gonna play a couple highlights of the last couple days of me playing, just to help you really get a feel of what this game is. But other than what it physically is, this game is one of the most important pieces of my life. I started playing it in the end of 2018, around the release of the titular campaign Forsaken. But unfortunately, it is coming to an end. The game itself is not going to get any more updates in the future, and there's probably not even going to be another game, another Destiny. Nothing's going to be done with the IP after this. So it's a really sad day, at least for me. When this comes out, it'll be the day. I recorded this gameplay yesterday, and the voiceover I'm doing right now is on the day of the release of the final update. I'm making this as sort of a send off for me personally of this game, just kind of going through how I got into it and why it means so much to me. Basically what happened is back in, what is it, like, I want to say November or something, 2018, November or October 2018. I get a notification from my friends because Activision, who owned the rights to the game at the time, were giving away the game for free, just the base game. So you got to play the campaigns, the Red War, Curse of Osiris, and Warmind, completely free. And if you wanted to keep playing, you could get the new Forsaken DLC and campaign, as well as the season pass and all that. So I played the Red War with my friends, and then eventually me and another friend, two of them sort of stopped playing it, but after that, me and another one of my friends played Curse of Osiris and Warmind, and I was hooked. I couldn't get enough of it. So me and my friend, we both got the DLC. We both got Forsaken. I got the season pass, and I just couldn't stop playing it. The story was immaculate. The gameplay was so much fun. I couldn't stop playing it. Really, I just couldn't. The loop it was fun even back then. All the worlds you can explore. The Red War was such a good campaign. So was Forsaken. And I think Warmind is a little underrated. People remember the bad parts about the gameplay. I loved the story. I love, Rasputin. And this might sound like nothing to anybody who doesn't know this game, but it means something to me. Then ever since then, I got every campaign, DLC, and season pass up until Edge of Fate, and Renegades. This game is like muscle memory to me. I could leave it and come back, and I know what every key. There's not many keys you need to know because it's a lot of first person stuff, but like I remember everything. It takes me maybe 5-10 minutes to really remember where I was in terms of loot and where I am in terms of my sort of gameplay loop, but I eventually remember, and I enjoy it every single time. I get burnt out because I play it so hard. I'll just keep grinding if I can't, until I can't grind no more. But yeah, no, it's ending, and I'll say this game gave me some hardships. You know, I a lot of the story was my favorite. Like, this is the thing that kept me coming back. So like when Lightfall comes out, and it's one of the weakest stories you can really get. It's rough, and you know, stuff like the Destiny content vault, one of the worst things they could have ever made as a way to quote unquote, you know, keep the gameplay loop fresh. They were never going to bring it back, and I can't play the Red War, Curse of Osiris, Warmind, or Forsaken campaigns anymore, which really, really sucks. I really wanted to, you know. It would be so much fun to be able to play those games again, or play those campaigns again. But that's not the world we live in, unfortunately. So, but I've enjoyed everything since. You know, the sort of build crafting. You know, I only got into build crafting really, like, I want to say maybe a year or two ago, back when the Final Shape came out. And the Final Shape was awesome. I loved playing the Final Shape. It was so good to see, you know, like Cade and, you know, Nathan Fillion, who voices Cade, back. And it's sort of like a finality to the story, which is sort of nice. You know, it was sort of a conclusion, but you know, they weren't done with the game, and they tried to come back with Edge of Fate, and it just didn't bring enough people back, especially after they got bought by Sony. So it's a rough sort of cycle that sort of caused these events. And I may be uninformed on that completely, but from my perspective, that's kind of what happened, and they ended up shutting the game down. And as much as I could talk about how much I loved, you know, just doing everything, you know, exploring, shooting, having fun. There's some things I always wanted to do, but I couldn't, you know, like, because I'm a completely solo Destiny player. No one would ever play like a you know, get people together to play a raid, or you know, do strikes with me or anything like that. So I'm wholly solo. You know, I've never done anything, never gotten a raid weapon, which is one regret I've always had. I wish I was more confident to do things with people, especially if I've, you know, because I know how people are with raids, and that sort of scares me, is the public perception of people, and it's just like, well, I don't want to ruin someone's time, you know. So that's why I kind of never have done it. And raids are not, if you don't know, raids are not something you can do solo. They are, they at least require, like, I think at the minimum, I think you can probably get away with doing some raids with 4 people, but it's a 6-player mode. And they're some of the hardest things you could do. I wish I was I wish I played more, you know, not knowing that, you know, in retrospect, I wish I played more. In retrospect, I wish I was here, you know, doing Guardian games every year, or doing the Solstice or the Dawning, more often, stuff like that. Like, I didn't really do as many live events that I wish I could have done in the later years. So there were whole seasons I missed. I forget the season name, but the season where we sort of go back in time, and we get Saint 14 back. I didn't play that almost that entire season. I never got to do the Sundial or anything like that, which is, you know, tough. You know, it's tough for me because I just never did. I got burnt out, and I was like, oh, I'll play the next season. And that leads me to probably the last and sort of saddest thing to me, is that this game was always like a comfort game. You know, Minecraft is sort of like a comfort game to me, but this game especially, I could always go back to it. You know, I would always say, oh, I'm done, and then I'd always like, oh, you know what, I could fire it up and play it again. And even then, like after Final Shape, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm done with that. I'm not getting another DLC. If they do another one, I'm completely done. And they'd always get me. I came back for Renegades and Edge of Fate, and I realized in that sort of moment that that's kind of what happened to me every single time. You know, it wasn't always like I can't wait to get the next one. It would be like, I'm kind of done, you know. But it would always keep me coming back. They'd always be like, guess what? This is happening. I'd be like, oh man, and I'd have to get it, and I'd buy it, play the living hell out of it, and have a great time. And now that loop is unfortunately gone. I don't have that anymore. I'm gonna play this new update that came out today, as if it is an expansion. I think that's what a lot of people are doing, just because it's giving us so much. But God, it sucks. It sucks that in the future I'll remember this game and there won't be new content. It'll just be the same content that I played, today and within the coming weeks, which is upsetting. Higher ups at Bungie and Sony killed this labor of love that is so good. They've got the sense that they figured so many good things out. It's got such a great community surrounding it. It's a shame that it's going, but there's nothing we can do about it now. It is going. So, with that, hey, if any of you want to play Destiny, let me know and I'll do what I can. So, you don't have to worry about any new content or being behind. So, but that's all I had to say. I wanted to make this video just because it's something that I've just been thinking about these last couple days ever since I got the news. So, with that, I might make another tier list video at some point, but this is it for now. Thanks.